Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to CTN's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski here with you at Riverbank Stadium, as you can see, where the River Rats will be hosting those crosstown rivals, the Pioneers. Kickoff is coming up momentarily here. The Pioneers have elected to receive first off. Thus far, Ann Arbor Pioneer 0-2 on the season, where the Rats are currently sitting at 1-1. And a lot of optimism around Riverbank Stadium currently. A lot of good things happening. They've got big faith in what's happening with their squad right now. Ball received touchback there by J.J. Lampier. One of the names you're definitely going to be hearing an awful lot of here this evening for the Pioneers. Pioneer huddling up, getting that first play in, that ever so important first play, their first play of the entire season this year. Went for a 51-yard touchdown. And here we'll see what Coach Jimmy Williams, first-year coach Jimmy Williams of the Pioneers, is going to dial up on the first play of the game. Doesn't matter what he dialed up because he was leveled in that backfield by Davion McLilley. McLilley, the linebacker, came in and just hammered him in the backfield. Came in, shot out of a cannon, and took him down. We'll have second and long, 2nd and 14 here to go from the 16-yard line for the Pioneers. Got Grant Nelson gets the snap, hands off, taken down once again in the backfield. Goes without saying, not the start that the Pioneers would like, but this is what to be expected so far of this River Rat squad. They have got a massive, hellacious defense, strong D linemen, really quick linebackers, and when their offense takes the field, also an exciting thing to see. Pioneers now 3rd and 16. Nelson in the shotgun. Direct snap. Takes it up the gap, gets to about the 21, 22-yard line. 7-yard gain, but that will not be enough. And they'll be punting away in the shadow of their own end zone. Decent punt out there. Takes the proverbial Pioneer bounce. Touchback. Pretty solid effort there by Pioneer to get that out. And well, the River Rats will have excellent field position to start this out. Definitely could have been a lot worse for the Pioneers starting out. And here we see that River Rat offense coming out. The Rats in their home greens. Kind of a more muted look than they've used to have, but looking green head to toe.
Hey, get the apex. Tell him to get the apex.
So we've got Dyson Sims there in the shotgun. Takes it, hands the ball off, up the middle into a pile of Pioneer and Huron players. Found a way to fall forward and get a yard or two, though. Anything on the positive way to start that one out. And the Rats going no huddle, getting out there quick again. Dice with that quick screen pass. Makes a man miss, makes another man miss before he's brought down from behind. That's Brian Robinson on the tackle who got him there. But that'll be first down Huron. You see Sims looking in on the sideline. Rats don't want to huddle up. They want to move forward, move fast, keep that Pioneer defense on the field. Nothing doing there on the handoff. And the Pioneers do a nice job of stopping their second job, stuffing that running back for a loss of 2. Pioneer sticking no huddle though, not to be deterred. Snap back to Sims. Just a little floater. But again, brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be looking at 3rd and 12.
Hey, tell those safeties to stay deep.
3rd and 12, Dyson Sims.
Watch the sticks. Watch the sticks.
Sticking in that shotgun. CJ Baldwin next to him, breaks out to the right. Sims looking deep, makes a man miss. Got space, tosses one up to an open man, but couldn't bring it in.
Tell Kenny he's got to stay deep with his man. You know what? Put Javon in. Put Javon in.
Pioneers had a look at that. The River Rats had a look at that, but neither player could come down. Sims did a great job of getting away, making his man miss. Stepped up in the pocket, had some space, could have the option to run it. Chose to chuck it, but no go. Now we're looking at 4th and 12. And I do not believe they're going to punt. They're in that maroon zone section that they're just going to go for it. Not worth punting at this point, at this level. Snap is received. Catches it right up the middle, crossing route. That's number 5, Davis Huggin getting that, bringing that in for the first down, and the River Rats are moving the chains on 4th down.
Green.
Increasingly, you're seeing that play going for it in 4th down more and more. High school, college, and the pros are slowly getting there as well. The numbers just bear out that it's way more worth it to go for it versus punt something that may or may not go in the end zone and gets touched back, and the net gain is no big deal anyway. Another handoff for the Rats. A little more positive yardage for them on this one. Taken down to the 21. Worth mentioning that was Anthony Panas on the throw on that last play. And here he's still in there once again. Panas a dual threat. He likes to throw, but Coach Mack will let him off the chain, and he can just run. Kid is real fast and won't think twice about just busting up the field. Here we go, little option play, pitches it back. Nice stiff arm. Gets out to the end line. Very nice, up till the 10-yard line. Perfectly executed option play there. And the River Rats are doing it in a lot of different ways so far. They've been throwing the ball. They're more than happy to hand off and go up the gut. And they're showing off their option game as well. And that Pioneer defense is not getting any rest. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. We'll see what kind of look the Rats give us here. Another shotgun formation. Panas hands the ball off. Breaks to the outside, slides in for a couple of yards. That's Davion McClilly there. McClilly, a couple of nice plays so far between receiving that option earlier on there. Just the straight sweep handoff on this most recent play. Here we go, 2nd and 5 from the 9-yard line. Panas gets it, looks, tucks it down, gets in there. Makes a man miss, dives in, and looking for the call, and he's just shy of the end zone. They're probably going to put that about the 1-foot line. He got some air and got that in there, made a couple of guys miss. Slick play slipping in there. Great play by Panas, and that is what that young man brings to the table for the River Rats. McLilley split left for him, handoff. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Looked like that was Antonio Christian there. He was on his backside, but still managed to grab him and bring him down. Second down now here for the Rats. Always looking back to that sideline, looking to Coach Mack, seeing what he's got in score, what coach is going to dial up. Paness makes a good move, cuts back inside, but gets stuffed by the linebacker. Will Foster comes up huge there. Paness thought he had the gap, but Foster broke in there, closed the gap, takes him down. 3rd and 4 now for the Rats. Pretty safe to say that they're probably in 4-down territory. Clock keeps moving down. We're at 4:22 left to go here in this first quarter. There's Paness, receives the snap. Goes back, breaks away. Finds his man, throws it to wide open in the end zone. Davis Huggin hits him right in the chest, as it should be. But we might have some laundry on the field. And on that spin away, just a great job of Paness to find his man. Great job of Hogan to get open. We've got our official letting us know, and indeed seems like a holding call. So that's going to back the Rats up all the way back to the 19-yard line. Now they're looking at 3rd and 19. Much different ball game than that 3rd and 4. Paness gets it, rolls right, sees his man, dives, doesn't come up with it. Jamari Thomas gave 100% getting out there, had his hands on it, flat out, but just couldn't pull it in. Now we got 4th and 19. Seems like the offense is scooting off in favor of the kicking squad. Same at the 28 dash mark. We'll see what comes here. Left-footed kicker Adam Samaha. Up, and it is good. Very good, and the Rats jump off to a 3-0 lead. With 3:59 to go here in this first quarter, the Rats put together a great drive, a back-and-forth drive, an interesting drive. But they come away with 3 points, they draw first blood, and that's what you want to do at home. You get the home faithful into it, you get them excited despite that touchdown being taken away, and now they go back on D. And there you can see that crowd just full of River Rats. Not only can you see all the River Rats, you can also see that beautiful early fall Michigan sun setting right along the banks of the Huron. Can't ask for anything more on a Friday night. Guess we could ask for some more football, and that's what we're going to do. There's the junior Samaha walking it off. Left-footed kicker, the old southpaw. Puts a foot into it indeed, all the way back into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. That's what he makes the big bucks for. Still 3:59 left to go here in this first quarter, despite Huron and their mad dash towards the end zone. Pioneers are going to look to, first and foremost, give their defense a little bit of a break, give their defense a little bit of a breather. But now they need to work on getting some positive yardage here, whether it's on the ground or through the air. You're going to be looking at junior Grant Nelson for that. talking to Coach Jimmy Williams, he had a lot of great things to say about Nelson. Just that he's a hard worker, he's smart, and apparently pretty good at a hard count because he got those rats to jump. And that's going to be free yardage for the Pioneers. And that's that strong quarterback leadership right there, getting those hard counts, getting that anxious defense to bite. Now he'll be in the shotgun with a 1st and 5 in front of him. Handoff sweep, but pulled down at the 20-yard line. That's Jamel Thomas. Just couldn't get around the corner, couldn't get around those fast, strong defensive linemen for the Rats. Rats D-line is one of their strengths, as it is for the Pioneers as well. So much like you're used to watching in classic hard-nosed football, this game could be won in the trenches. Pioneer now 2nd and 9. 4 men wide. Nelson takes it back, dodges a man, dodges many men, but of just too many in that backfield for him to get away from. Yeah, Nelson's got to be looking at his offensive line and saying, hey man, you guys have got to give me at least a couple of seconds here so I can see what's going on and release. But that, whether it's the D-line, whether it's the linebackers, they are in on Grant Nelson. They're in on him quick. Pioneers huddled up. Quick screen pass. Steven Daniels couldn't make anybody miss, though. Brought down pretty quickly. That's going to do it for this Pioneer drive as it's 4th and 14. Clock keeps ticking away just at the 2-minute mark as they get ready to punt this one away. As we mentioned pregame, Pioneer 0-2 so far in the season. After last season, season to forget for the Pioneers. But first-year coach Jimmy Williams talking about how he's got all of his players buying in. He's got everybody believing in the process that he has implemented, and he really likes what he's seeing so far with this group. And he's getting a hard play from them, as we're seeing so far. Quality punt. Caught by Jamari Thomas, leaning forward, catches it cleanly, goes forward, falls, and he'll be down about the 44-yard line. And the Rats will have their second opportunity to see what this offense can do. Last time around, the Rats ate up just a ton of clock on their last drive. We'll see if they'll be just as methodical this time around or trying for some quick hits. Dyson Sims starting out in the backfield once again. The lefty with a quick toss over to Paness, catches it. Good move, and then breaks upfield. He's got a few men, but just too fast for all of these Pioneers. Spins around before he is eventually pushed off 3 or 4 yard line. There's Paness. We talked about him. Coach Mack talks about him, has a lot of good things to say, and we're seeing it early on. He can throw the ball. He's very, very quick, as we've seen in this first quarter, and he's just going to be a monster to try to get a hold of, slow down, keep contained. I'm sure the Pioneers have game planned for him. I'm sure they've schemed for him. Everybody on that defense knows where he is at all time. We got trips right for the Rats here. Dyson pitched number 15. Pioneer couldn't quite wrap him up. Slows him down long enough for his cohorts to bring in and take him down, though. C.J. Baldwin on the carry there. River Rats ready to scrimmage. Sims tosses it out there to Baldwin once again. Stiff arm, gets around the corner, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, River Rats. Davis Huggin doing an excellent job of getting around that corner, makes a man miss, and then after that just turns on the afterburners, gets into the promised land. Now waiting for the point after from Samaha. Up and good. Samaha seems to be automatic at this point. Hopefully the old jinx doesn't kick in after I just said that. Words are no sooner out of my mouth before I remember the old nickname. But Samaha's got quite a foot. He seems accurate, and that's a powerful, powerful weapon in the high school game if you can get it. If you can get that reliable kicker that will kick the ball straight, kick the ball far, and then, you know, get it between the uprights every once in a while is always nice as well. With only 37 seconds left here to go in the first quarter, it's been all River Rats. Now it's up to the Pioneers to maybe make a return here. Get on the good side of the 30 for once and see where they can get from there. But if you're here on it, you're Coach Mack, you are loving what you're seeing so far. Game plan is being executed to perfection. No hurry here for Samaha. Last second switch in for Pioneer. Samson Dabney coming in there. Coming in on the right. There's Huron and their marching band ready to go. They were fired up before pregame here, as they should be. Anytime you've got this crosstown rivalry happening, everybody gets ready for it. Everybody comes out. Once more into the end zone. You can count on Samaha for that. And Pioneers not interested in taking any sort of chances. They're down and they're just going for it. Pioneers getting those last subs in here. Most likely last play of the quarter, but you never know. As usual, you want to make sure everything is lined up exactly what you want. As things have not been going exactly the way the Pioneers want currently, they want to make sure that this play is run to perfection. Nelson calls the plays, gets a snap. Finds his man right up the middle, fires a bullet to J.J. Lampier. And they might push it forward up to the 29-yard line, Pioneer offense. Only 19 to go. They do not seem to be in any sort of a hurry to get another play off. And as they huddle up, they're talking, they might try for one more with 9, 7, 5 seconds. 4, 3, and they get it off just in time. Handoff up the middle, no frills handoff right there. Stuffed down, back to the 20-yard line. Probably a loss of 1. But that will do it for the first quarter of action. So far, it's been all Huron up 10-0. Stick around, we'll be right back in a moment. And welcome back, everybody. We've got second quarter action now here in this crosstown rivalry from Riverbank Stadium. Pioneers will be scrimmaging on 3rd and 1 here. Nelson, quick toss back to Robinson. Brian Robinson, just a big kid, just a cannonball once he gets going. Like the look of him running the ball, like the look of those little passes out of there, and he's also playing on the D line. So you love that high school mentality where it's go, go, go. Couldn't quite come up there, though. 4th and 1 now for Pioneer, and they're going for it, obviously. Why not? Nope, scratch that. Punt formation now for the Pioneers. One deep for the Rats. Almost gets in on him, but it gets away. A really nice punt to Brandon Johnson, who receives that and then is brought down within about 2 yards. No going for Johnson on that one. But the Rats were going all out to try to block that one. This is no quarter for this. They've got their rivals on the ropes, and they're going to keep pushing forward. Flag on the play, though. We'll see what the old Zebras have to talk about. Over there chatting it up with some of the coaches. You're going to assume it's going to be a Huron hold. I'm sorry, a Pioneer hold, but I guess we'll see as they're talking it over. This reminiscent of what my usual partner, Pete Poyer, would be talking about. He not always optimistic that the refs are always going to be coming up with the best calls. To say the least, didn't have the most faith in those guys out there in stripes. So we'll see what happens here, but I'll be skeptical in honor of Pete Poyer wherever he is this evening. I hope he's well, and I hope that he is thinking about referees. Just a real serious confab out there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't have a ton of faith in what's going on down there. Again, with that flag so far deep where the kick happened, could have come down with a roughing the passer, but it could also be a holding. And there it is. It looks like roughing the passer on Huron. Then we've got another personal foul on Huron. So it seems like that one's going to be coming back. Sorry, roughing the kicker. If I said roughing the passer, that's clearly didn't what happened there. Roughing the kicker, though. Now we're just waiting on everybody to make their decisions, get their players back out there. Pioneers making no immediate choices, no immediate decisions before they do what they need to do. You saw Coach Anton Mack there. So we will have Pioneer ball. And they found a nice chunk of yardage off a couple of penalties on the River Rats. Hey, however you get it, however you get going. Maybe this is the catalyst that pushes Pioneer forward. Maybe this is the break that they need to get out there, cross that 50-yard line, and get a sniff of their end zone. And those big linemen for the Pioneers get up there, get down in that stance, ready to go. You see those strong players. Another hard count. Anxious on the River Rats. They just can't wait to get in there, and they're jumping that hard count. Grant Nelson gets them once again. That's Nelson 2, River Rats 0, at least in that category. Now he wants to push forward and get a few more yards for his squad. See him flanked by two running backs, 3 wideouts. Still inside handoff. Steven Daniels picks up a few yards there. And so far, the Pioneers are intent on establishing that run, letting them know that this is where we want to go, this is what we want to do, and we're going to establish ourselves. Maybe it's the idea of wearing down that River Rat defense. 4 wide for the Pioneers, and Robinson next to Grant. Handoff and brought down quickly. His knee was down. Brian Robinson, again, just that cannonball runner. He just can't seem to get anything moving. He can't get that forward momentum for me. He doesn't have a quick first step, but once he gets going, he's a quick young man. But he's not been able to break free and see any of that open field or see any of these open tacklers that he could just barrel over that he's used to doing. 9:49 left to go here in this first half. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. Thanks for watching. It's good to be back for Game of the Week. And that one, Nelson rolls away, throws it in. Steven Daniels is pleading his case, saying that he caught that one, and the officials agree. And the chain gang moves forward. Pioneer putting together a nice little drive here now after punting back in their own end and those 2 personal fouls. But now it seems like they've got something going, getting a little bit of that momentum pushing forward. Nelson gets it, looks downfield, finds his man in the slot. Couldn't quite get it over to Trevor Emch. Second and 10 now as the Pioneers huddle up. There you can see Pioneers looking in towards their coach, looking into Coach Jimmy Williams, first-year Coach Jimmy Williams. And if that means anything to you, it should. 10-year career with the Detroit Lions, All-American at Nebraska. And he was quite a find for the Pioneers. And quite a job he's got ahead of him here. Again, coming off an 0-6 season last year, things didn't go well. Lost to the River Rats, obviously. And Coach Williams is happy to be here. He talked on and on about what a great opportunity is. He coached at D-line at Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, and he said he's just excited to have a strong influence and mold some of these young men, some of these young players. Nelson looking around, in trouble. Slipped down from behind. I don't know how many times he could slip through, and maybe his head fell off. Nelson did everything he could on that one. He slipped a couple of tacklers, stepped up in the pocket, slipped another guy before he was eventually just slowed up and brought down by a mob of River Rats. Now likely another punt coming here for Pioneer on 4th and 9 from their own 44. We've got Anthony Panas there at the 15-yard line waiting to receive, the ever dangerous young man. But Huron jumps once again. Man, these are just painful, painful mistakes for the River Rats. And again, I know they've got a lot of quick guys up front. They've got strong, aggressive players. But these mental mistakes are tough. You do not want to keep giving the other team these opportunities. And now in a last-second switcheroo, Pioneer will be going for it on 4th and 4. Or will they? We shall see. And now we've got timeout Huron to get their situation straight. We'll see if the Pioneers go back after this timeout to the punt, or will they get back into their offensive formation and try to get these 4 yards and try to make something of this drive that's been pretty solid so far. There's Coach Mack in the middle there. Coach Mack, just a delight to hear before the game. He's got so much energy. He's walking around, he's talking to his players, he's getting in that three-point stance with his defensive linemen. He's joking to players on the sideline, he's joking with administrators on the sideline. And here you've got a little more muted Jimmy Williams in there, dressed for success in the t-shirt in the middle of that huddle, talking to his players, getting the correct play in there, and probably just calming them down a bit. You know, I talked to Coach Williams a lot about straightening out players mid-game, and he told me all of that happens pre-game. They go over things day after day, move after move, play after play, to do everything ahead of time so that they know exactly what to do. He says he's not a big changer on the fly in the game. Here we got Nelson, slips away, tries to go forward on it, finds some space, finds some green, and he's got all sorts of space in front of him before he is brought down at the 15-yard line. Nelson, not quite the dual threat that the River Rats have going on, but he showed what he could do. He had great vision, looked up, couldn't find anybody, followed some blockers. And once he got some green, he was off to the races. So first down Pioneers. And after initially having to punt way back from their own zone a few minutes ago, they push forward, nearly having to punt again before getting the River Rats to jump off sides and then converting on their 4th down, and they're ready to go 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. Got 4 wide. Nelson looks up, tosses it up into the end zone. Can he get there? Just a little bit out of the reach of J.J. Lampier. He had his man. Lampier was open. He just let him just a little bit too much, and I'm sure both of those young men wish they had that one back. After that, you could see the River Rat DBs talking to each other, letting each other know who that guy was, and do not let that happen again. But Lampier's dangerous. He's quick off the side. He runs great routes, and I wouldn't be surprised if they look for him here again. Maybe not going into the corner, maybe not that post route, but maybe more of a slant coming up the field this time. Handoff inside to 5, gets a few blocks, cuts it back inside, shakes a man, dives in, and that is touchdown Pioneer. Steven Daniels gets in for the touchdown. Just an outstanding play. That thing looked like it was dead on arrival when Daniels got the ball handed off to him, got it in his breadbasket, got around those linemen, was looking forward. There was all sorts of rats around him, but he slipped that first guy, turned around the corner, hit the Jets, and got into the end zone and got his team on the board. Or not. A little bit of confusion. I think they're going to be looking at a holding penalty on that last one, as we've now got 2nd and 15 as opposed to the 2nd and 10. The Pioneer faithful letting everybody know what they think about that one. And there's another post pass into the corner. Michael Bailey held up a little there in that chuck zone and just couldn't break away from his man to get to the route destination. One of those plays where you're not really looking at the man, you're just throwing to the position, and Bailey couldn't make it there on that time around. So now the Pioneers looking at 3rd and 15 from their 22. Going from the absolute highest of highs, scoring that touchdown, to being a little bit a ways away and maybe even out of field goal range. Third and 15 now. 3 to Grant Nelson's left, 1 to his right. He's looking left the whole way. Sees a man short. I believe that's Brian Robinson. It is not. Antonio Christian makes the reception. Falls down to get it, but picks up a nice chunk of change. However, we got another flag in the backfield, right around the area of where Nelson chucked that out. It's on Huron. We can all agree on that. We've seen that. So the ball has been moved up to the 8-yard line. And regardless of what the call was, flag on the Riverettes, and Pioneer is now sniffing that end zone once again. First and goal from the 8-yard line. Got Robinson in tight next to Nelson. Lamphere in motion. Handoff to Robinson. And brought down by 2 Rats immediately. But they're sticking with it. They're sticking with that run game. They're trying to establish it. And eventually, I know eventually, Robinson is going to break one of these. Whether it's a matter of just breaking a tackle and getting open, or getting moving with a head of steam. You know, maybe they would consider putting Nelson in the pistol and letting Robinson get going before the handoff happens. But I'm currently not an offensive coordinator, so I'll just be up here in the booth. I'll be up here in the booth looking over at the scoreboard with 5:51 to go here in this first half. Clock ticking down after that run play. 2nd and 10. 2nd and goal, excuse me, from the 10-yard line. Lamphere in motion once again. Hands it off. Double reverse, nothing doing. Jamel Thompson brought down a solid 15 yards behind that play. Double reverse, no go. Nobody in the Riverettes bought that. Nobody bit on that. And now Pioneers faced once again with seemingly monumental amount of yards moving forward. 3rd and goal from the 21. Always interesting to see what they might dial up here. Might go with a run play just to keep it in the middle and then try to kick that field goal. Or maybe they go for it. Rolls right, looking deep, but he was stalked from behind the whole way by Zayers Ruff. Ruff was on him immediately and tore him down from behind. Zayers Ruff, that senior linebacker. There's Coach Jimmy Williams, knows a thing or two about linebackers. And he's pulling his guys aside. Some words of wisdom on where to go next. And it looks like we're going to have field goal attempt here, and not a short one. Big number 61, Donovan Ingle there coming in. And right now, the Riverettes are just thinking, do not go offside. And we've got a fake. He comes up ready to throw it, but throws it behind his man, throws it behind number 30. And that's it. As Curtis Hausman was holding on that one, came up looking for the throw. And everybody downfield was covered. He tried to look for his man coming back, posting back, but no good for the Pioneers. A for effort, but nothing coming away from it. But the positive for that is Pioneer had just a huge chunk of good offensive plays. Feel like they got into a little bit of a rhythm. And now they've got something they can build on next time they get the ball. In the meantime, though, Huron here steps up in the pocket, throws deep, and it is caught by number 10. Shakes his man, Gets away, and it doesn't matter. He is in the end zone. First play from scrimmage there for the Rats. Major catch, major move by Brandon Johnson. Great job by that young man. Shakes his man and gets into the end zone. 16-0, probably soon to be 17-0, and the Rats are on fire right now. Quality drop back by Panas on that one. Saw his man the whole way, saw him downfield, saw Johnson downfield, open. He had a good step on his man, made the catch in traffic, and then turned on the afterburners to get in the end zone. And point after good. 17-0 now for the River Rats. And Huron's offense has got to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now. They seem to be clicking on all cylinders. Both quarterbacks are having a nice game so far. And all the skill positions for the River Rats are just getting their jobs done. Coach Mack has got to be ecstatic with his guys right now. Very excited about his game plan as a whole. You know, the other side of this is that defense is going to come back out there now, and they're probably still a little bit tired. Not a big break for that defense that was just out there for 5 or 6 minutes. So if there is one positive thing for the Pioneers at this point, it could be that they might be able to take advantage of a more tired River Rat squad. So we'll see if they try to air it out a little bit more, if they try to continue to try to establish that run. The Pioneer faithful will not be deterred, though. They're still in this. They're still excited. All of these kids want to see their classmates play well and stay in it. Lamphere sidesteps that one for yet another touchback, another Samaha touchback. And I would like to take a moment just to point out a few plays ago that Zaire's rough tackle was made, just an outstanding play, and I held back on any sort of dad joke having to do with his last name. I'm working really hard this year on this, and I'm just not going to do it this year. But I will continue to quote Caddyshack at any point that I can. So I got that going for me, which is nice. All right, Pioneers back at it. Almost said under center, but that is not a thing in football anymore, anywhere, unless you're Army or Navy. Hand off to Robinson. Finally gets a little bit of speed, gets around this end, and all for naught, as it's either holding or, oh, Robinson taking a lot of offense to maybe words. Maybe he just didn't like the way that things were being pushed at the end. There's Williams, got to get in there. Coach Jimmy Williams has got to tell his man, calm down. You can't take the bait on something like that, right? The Pioneers are already down 17-0. Let it go, whatever it is, whether it's name calling, whether it's little slaps, little grabs, little pulls, whatever it might be. You cannot respond with that kind of fervor because you're getting the penalty every time, right? Nobody ever gets that penalty. The starter, the instigator, that never happens. They only see, those zebras only see what happens after that. And especially when you're the ball carrier, especially when you're that big kid, you can't go back after the instigator that way. And just a massive huddle for what should be a pretty easy call here. More confab with the one guy that wasn't in that earlier huddle. Meanwhile, the Pioneers sit back and wait to see what their punishment is. Yeah, it's okay, guys. Take your time. Thankfully, clock is not running. Stopped at 4:07 left to go here in this first quarter as the sun slowly sets to the west of us, just over the Huron Hills. Picture perfect night for football out here at Riverbank Stadium. Cannot say it enough. If you're watching this later in the week, man, get out to the next game. We're going to have some great Michigan fall weather. Everybody's ready for hoodie season. Jeans and hoodies, hot chocolate, and get out to a game. Get out and see this, be a part of this weather, and support one of your local teams, as we are trying to do here. And we might finally have a ball spot. Or not, you know, and that's fine too. That's fine too. I'm not getting paid by the hour, so that's fine. We're all here. I wonder if these guys are. I think I might actually be onto something. There we go. Still a lot of discussion from the sideline official. I don't know if we have a timeout from one of the teams. There we see that Pioneer huddle. Coach Williams in the middle of it. And then in case you need some Kona ice. I thought we were going to start doing commercial spots for Kona ice. It's a great product. But no time for all of that. We've got football to play. And ball's down on the field. And I'm pretty confident that it's actually going to be happening here momentarily. Pioneers still huddled up. I do not believe I saw Brian Robinson return. He went off to the side, cool off a little bit, and he has definitely not come back onto the field. So the Pioneers will muscle forward without him, but they will not get away from that run game. So they hand off to Samuel Benasso. Maybe a yard there for Benasso. Second down now as that clock moves lower and lower, much like the Michigan sun. Four wide for the Pioneers, and I just have got to think that they've got to get Lampier involved in this sooner rather than later. I know that that defense is on him. And then the ball squirts out. Coach Mack's got it, though. He's okay. He might go for it. That's what I was talking about earlier. That is a guy that likes his job. He's having a good time regardless, but when you're up 17-0 over Pioneer, you're really having a good time. I'll have to catch up with him after the game or at halftime. Let him know. I think he had enough open space. He could have scored. He could have got in there. Those shorts help. They give a lot of breathing room. Despite what happened there, we've got 3rd and 9 now for the Pioneers. Since that ball did shoot out of bounds, the clock has stopped. And we've got a timeout called. Timeout Huron. Coach Mack wants to get his guys in there and discuss what to do defensively and maybe even think about saving a little bit of time if they can make a stop here and get forward, get the ball back, and maybe score some more points. On the other side of that, you got Coach Williams over there. Needs to put something together. Needs to channel a little bit of that offense that they had on their previous drive. Going to be tough going without Robinson out there. but I'm going to go ahead and say that we're not going to see him the rest of this half. Pioneers back out there. Nelson. Man in motion right in front of him. Just misdirection, and he finds his man up the middle, catches it, makes the turn. He's going to be just a little shy of that first down. And the River Rats making that stop. Curious to see if on this punt attempt the Rats will make that all-out attack on the punter like they did last time. It has yet to pay off for them and really has been kind of detrimental, truthfully, between some roughing the kicker penalties. So they might be better off just holding back in more of a blocking formation and letting their return man do his gig. Coach Williams telling his guys what to expect, what to look for. Again, Coach Williams did a lot of coaching in college. D-line for Western, D-line for Eastern. Just a lot of really quality experience under his belt. Said he was ready to get away from the extremeness of college football, though, and get into something a little more routine-based, like high school coaching. And he says he's loving it so far. End over end punt just past the 50-yard line. Snagged in the middle of a couple of guys. Jamari Thomas there taking a big chance, but at the end of the day did a great job of getting that so it didn't bounce away. And they didn't lose any yardage off of that. But still a dangerous catch, and he knew he was going to take a pounding after he caught that. He knew that those two Pioneers were right there ready to put it on him. Got to like that in a player. That's hard-nosed football. He's literally taken one for the team. And that's the sort of thing that earns you the pat on the behind at halftime or after the game. It's those little things. Huron back at it. One play touchdown on their last drive. Paness gets in, looks deep. This is where he gets dangerous, getting away from his men. Heads up. Wisely gets out of bounds, stops the play, stops the clock. Paness is slick back there, and he'll break away. You'll see him kind of bootleg-ish away. And he isn't always just go, go, go when that happens. You can see that his eyes are up. He's still looking for his players, whether he's looking for blocks or whether he's looking to try to chuck it down there. That's a good heads-up play, because a lot of times you'll see those young athletes, these young quarterbacks that are just strictly runners. They get away, they see even an inch of green, and their head's down, and they're just chugging forward. But Paness has done a really good job of keeping his head up, seeing what's in front of him, and making plays, whether it's making plays with his arm, following his blockers, making them with his feet, or again, just a great play there to pick up a nice chunk of yards, get out of bounds, and stop the clock. And that said, we do have another penalty flag. Dropped in. So we'll see where this gets spotted. Seems like it was a hold as the play was going on, away from the initial scrimmage. So ball will be set down at the 45-yard line. 2:16 left to play here in this first half. 1st and 10 to go for Huron. And not to put too fine a point on it, but their offense has been dominant. Man in motion, Paness gets it, looks over. He's looking deep, he wants to throw. Instead he finds his man right up the middle. Nails him, nails Zayers Ruff once again. Ruff in the right place at the right time. And just an excellent play by Ruff to get open. But Paness to see that the whole way. I thought he had his head up. He was looking deep. He wanted to go long. But Ruff found himself in the middle. makes the catch, turns around, gets a few yards after catch, and keeps this drive moving now from the 35-yard line of the Riverettes. Panas back. Ball fake. Ball fake pops out, though. Still. And that is recovered by the Pioneers. With 1:41 left to go, Panas made some moves. He tried to keep it up, tried to keep his head up, made a nice ball fake, but it was just after that ball fake, he had a little tuck action going on, and the ball just flew out. And Johnny on the spot defender there for the Pioneers, and now the Pioneers have a chance to make something happen with 1:41 left to go in this first half. Just that little bit has gotten this Pioneer faithful rabid, and that's the energy that the Pioneers need to move forward here with 1:41 left to go. But just no time in the pocket. That Riverette defensive line is eating up the O-line. They are winning that battle, winning that war in the trench almost every single down. And the clock will continue to tick down at 1:21. And now we've got 2nd and 15. The Pioneers received at the first half, so Riverettes will be getting the ball at the start of the second, just in case that's the sort of thing that you keep track of at home. Here we go, 60 seconds left to go. Nelson with a little side armor, but just a bit too much heat for Samuel Benassa. A little too much pepper on that bagel. Just a beautiful, beautiful zoom in to the stars of our show this evening. There we go, though. Holding on Pioneer. No wonder he had a 2.5 seconds to actually throw the ball for a change. There was holding. That'll back him up another 5. But this Pioneer student section, you wouldn't know it the way that they're in there. They're down there, they're yelling, they're supporting. They know that these Pioneers on the field will feed off of that energy, and they're trying to give every ounce that they have to get their guys downfield. Nelson with a little pump fake, throws deep, but intercepted. Riverette interception, and he's got men in front of him. Cuts back to the other side of the field, and no one will be even close to him as he saunters into the end zone. Terrence Green, touchdown after interception for Green, and that's another 6 for the home team. Nelson took his shot downfield. He had one man, but Green was just sitting there waiting on that, made that catch and cut upfield. Everybody was on the near side of the field. Everybody was on the near side of the field. Once he saw that, recognized that, and made that right turn, it was game over. Adam Samaha about to add the exclamation point, and indeed. Now 24-0 for Huron. And they are happy. That is an excited group of Riverettes. And they should be excited. This is a program that's had some struggles, and they seem to be coming out of it. They seem to be putting together a strong program. Coach Mack is. He's got his players implementing what he wants. He's got his players feeding off of his energy and listening to his stories, listening to his scheming, listening to his playbooks, and buying into everything. And these are the end results. These are the end results when your players are a part of what you're trying to do, and they've been in this program for years. They can see where the good things can go, and they're experiencing them now on a Friday night. You know, we talk about the athletes that the River Rats have, but athleticism is one thing if it's not utilized, if it's not used properly, or if you don't have all those other 10 guys behind that one athlete. And it's all of these Rats making plays. We talked about the punt return that was the catch. Just everything is working perfectly for the Rats tonight. Smaha sends another one deep. Lampier lets it bounce. And now we'll see what the Pioneers will do with 33 seconds left to go here in this first half. Still haven't caught wind of Brian Robinson. He's still off to the sideline, maybe still cooling off in the locker room. They've got J.J. Lampier out wide once again. 3 wideouts for the Pioneers. Handoff up the middle, and that will probably do it here for the first half of action for CTN's Game of the Week. Pioneer player tosses it back to the official, set down, but with only 13 seconds, everybody's just going to stand there and look at the clock and let this one wind down, and they're just going to go in to the half, go into the locker room, and determine what they can do differently next half. I know what I can do differently next half. I will be watching everything intently and bringing you all of this action. Please stick around. We'll be right back with second half action here from Riverbank Stadium.
Rachel Overgard, Jordan Douglas, Christabella Obi, Mackenzie Robinson, Maya George Lattis, head coach Davis Price. These young ladies are out of the track team and are
Attention Ann Arbor residents, recycle with confidence. Put the items below in your recycling cart. Remember, all must be clean and dry. Cartons. Containers like milk, broth, juice, etc. leave the caps on. Do not crush. And no straws. Check out recyclecartons.com. Plastic bottles and tubs. Leave the caps on. Glass, bottles and jars. Leave the lids off. And no dishware. Cardboard. Flatten them. You may leave tape and staples on. Remove any parts with food. You can't recycle pizza boxes with food and grease, but we can take them as composting items. Mixed paper. All paper, even glossy. Staples and tape are fine. Metal, such as cans. Go to a2gov.org/recycle for more information.
Welcome back, everybody, to CTN's Game of the Week. We've got second half action just about to start off. We'll have the Pioneers kicking off to the Huron River Rats. And if you missed the first half, you can see that Chiron right there, 24-0 for the Rats so far. It has been all Huron. Offensively, they have asserted everything that they've wanted to do. Defensively, they've come up with some picks. They're pressuring the Pioneers' run game, their pass game. Just a little bit of everything, and Huron is taking full advantage of this home field advantage and just playing out-and-out great football so far tonight. It's not the Pioneers playing terrible. I feel like they're just being outplayed currently by what the Rats are doing and some of the River Rat personnel. But any given Friday, as they say, and here we've got second half action. Pioneers can score just as much as they got scored upon. And maybe some miscommunication there between the two River Rats. Maybe everybody was a little excited to get going. And just a little bit of a miscommunication there. Doinked down onto the ground, and that is a mental lapse by the Rats that you don't want to start off like that. Because now, instead of a return off of that, or letting that go and dropping into the end zone, now they'll be starting off from their 6-7 yard line from down there. And this is exactly what Pioneer would want to start the second half. And look at that gorgeous crescent moon. I just can't say enough about Michigan Friday night right here in early September. I think that's a waning gibbous. I don't know if that's true. I know what is true. There is nothing but end zone in front of this young man. One man to get him. Outstanding hustle play. And what seemed like a sure touchdown is brought down by the 20-yard line. And all that started from a really quick screenplay and just nice move and then afterburners, just jets. Jamari Thomas, we've talked about him a little bit, whether it's playing wide out or just making those little screen passes, some bubble screens. He's dangerous, and he gets going real fast. Now without that shadow looming over their back, River Rats can open up any offense they want. Handoff up the gut. Donnell Green. And that clock will keep running after that handoff. Panas bent over, looks it over his receivers. Quick screen pass outside. Little juke and jive to come up with another 9-10 yards. Brandon Johnson now. And just so much to say about these skill players for the River Rats. They've got some really quality athletes, but more importantly, they've got the discipline to get in, run these routes properly, get in the correct spots. They're just playing excellent football. Handoff up the middle. Pioneer ready for that one. Green pulled down just behind the line of scrimmage. They'll be looking at 2nd and 11. Clock winding down, 10:18 left to play here in this third quarter. Panas throws it, sidearm ball. Couldn't quite bring it down. Jamari Thomas had it in his hands, and as he was turning, it just squirted out away from him. Really slick little sidearm pass by Panas, and Green just couldn't pull it down. Once again, though, great route and great job getting that separation from his man. I'll tell you one thing about the Rats, they don't seem to be going to the same plays very often. They've got a wide open playbook, all balanced off of the options that Panas has. He comes back across the field, and his eyes are wide open looking at that end zone, and he crosses the line for another Huron River Rat touchdown. That young man is on a roll, and he is just a touchdown machine tonight. Can't keep him out of that end zone. Just great awareness by Panas to bootleg to his left, look around, sees nothing happening, sees no wide receivers are open, and to make that turn back and turn on the jets to get out around. And excellent job by those Rats up front to keep pushing for him and to keep blocking for him to open up that opportunity to get in the end zone. Point after is good. That'll take us to 31-0 for the River Rats. River Rat faithful have an awful lot to be celebrating currently, but still lots of game left. As we said early in the game, Rats are currently 1-1 in the season. Just put a hurting on Southeastern in their first game of the year, 41-0. Similar to what we're seeing this evening, just a lot of really excellent offense. Those skill players came up huge, and that defense shut those guys down. And then they lost a close one to Saline last week. It was 35-21 or something pretty close to that. And if you can go into Saline and get a close matchup like that, you've got to be pretty happy, which is the general theory around the state. But not for Coach Mack. He wasn't interested. His famous quote this past week was, "I'm not interested in moral victories anymore." He wants the actual things. And that says a lot about where this program is right now. They're playing strong football, and moral victories aren't enough. They want to win. They want to show what they can do. They want to build off a season last year where for the regular season they were 3-3, but they made it to the playoffs. They won their first playoff game in forever, and now it's about taking that next step. It's about beating your rivals in this city. It's about going out to places like Saline or heading down to Bedford and taking those W's as well. And it sure seems like the Rats are on their way to that. And as usual, I know it makes one Kevin Bryant's heart warm to hear these things. He's not standing next to me. That's why that's why all this is coming out right now. Will not give him the satisfaction when he's around. Possibly a false start here by the Pioneers with their first opportunity to scrimmage in this first half. And not the way, not the foot you want to get off in the second half. Here we'll get up after it again. Now with the ball on the 12-yard line. 1st and 15. Shakes his first tackler. Scoots by a few more. And has a respectable few yards out of that. It's Jamel Thomas working awfully hard for a handful of yards there. Thought he was going to be dead on arrival, but lost a few men and picked up some positive. Clock moving down, 9:19 now to go. Picked up 5 on that last run. And another quick handoff, this time to Samuel Bonasso with less success than his predecessor. Bonasso brought down quickly at the hands of one more of those quality, strong D linemen. You know, just looking at some of those guys, you got Bruce Williams in there, and some of those linebackers like Bryce Evans. And these kids have been huge so far. You look also at McLilley, who's made some real nice plays. Big front for the River Rats there. Lots of players showing. Ball gets away, finally gets one to Lampier, cutting up the middle, but I saw a flag tossed right around the 5-yard line. So despite J.J. Lampier coming up with that catch and cutting it up the middle, what seemed was close to a first down may not be, as there was holding in the backfield that allowed Grant Nelson to get away. Pioneer being victims of that a few times. Looks like we'll have 3rd and 24 from the 3-yard line, 2.5-yard line. And very interested to see if they'll try that handoff up the gut. You probably don't want your quarterback dropping back too far, especially the way that these defensive players have been just attacking Nelson constantly. And something happened, some movement in the front. Referee's coming in looking for the signal. Discussion. Okay, timeout on the play then, not a penalty. Timeout, Pioneer. Wonder if Nelson or Coach Williams on the sideline just saw something that they knew that they needed to switch up, knew that they couldn't pull that one off. And that's a wise play. I mean, if that is your quarterback, Nelson, or one of the other offensive players that sees that and makes that call, you know, good for them. They recognize what's in front of them. They're learning their lessons tonight. They're learning, you know, how to read the defense. And maybe I've seen this formation, or I've definitely seen this face right up in front of me before. So let's not do that this time around, and let's try to fix it. And yeah, it is still early in the season, so these minor lessons are necessary, and any little push forward is what you want from both squads, right? It's the little victories, it's the little things, it's consistently doing good things well over and over again. That's how you learn, that's how you get better, and that's how you get into the playoffs and succeed come October, November. Another easy handoff on that last play. We've got a Huron player on the ground holding his knee, though. Never a good thing. Never that area where he's holding it is what you want to see. Although when the trainer came out, it seemed like it might just be something cramping up. Once again, game number 3 of the season. You know, everybody might not be shooting on all cylinders at all times, so you might get that cramp. But we can say it's not super hot, not super humid, so that's not an issue. Usually you're going to see more and more of those early in the season, but things have cooled off a little bit here in southeast Michigan, Washtenaw County. So let's try to put a little heat on him, stretch him out. In the meantime, Pioneers and Coach Williams there has some time to talk to his men, give them any little last nuggets of advice about what they're about to see here and how to accomplish it. Versus the Huron huddle, which is just all smiles, as they should be. Coach Mack still wants his team to focus. Coach Mack still wants 100% for the entire game. Again, he's been pretty quotable after his both matches. Again, last week we talked about his famous quote was no moral victories, but after that first game, after that 41-0 victory over Southeastern, he was famously unhappy with the play of his team in the fourth quarter. He said they were dogging it a little bit, and he said that they weren't going strong and finishing strong. And when you have those expectations of your players, that's the lesson right there. That's how these kids learn. Always go strong, always finish strong, and don't let up. Because when you start to dog it a little bit, then things get sloppy. And you don't want that at any point in the game. Right? You need 60 minutes of football. Really solid line drive punt. Takes the Pioneer bounce, but he still scoops it and makes the turn. And he's going to try to switch fields. Upended at about the 43-yard line, though. Jamari Thomas. Once again, one more of those River Rats skill players that is making things happen. That could have very easily been pro Pioneer, and they could have been starting, Huron could have been starting on their own end, but no. Thomas gets in there, makes a nice play, uses his athleticism, isn't afraid to get his head up and switch fields the way he almost did. You know, took that little shot up the middle, but at the end of the day, helps his team out, gets them those extra 5, 6, 7 yards, which is what you want, what you need. You don't want to be on your own end. You're trying to push forward always. Yeah, here we see some of that student section ready to rock. And despite all of those nice things I just said about Thomas in that return, it looks like there may have been a hold on it. So Huron starting from their own 44. One of the few times this game they've started out on their own side of the 50. Pioneers still looking aggressive. Still playing hard, still going strong at it. Showing blitz up front, and they are in fact blitzing. Going to try something a little bit different, and they rip down Dyson Sims. Sims was not ready for that, and that's a look that he has not seen to this point here in this game. For the most part, Sims and Panas have been back there just doing whatever they want. If they don't have enough time, they're making their own time, but just a huge blitz by the Pioneers there, and now they've got a little something working, and they're putting the River Rats in a position where they have not been, which is second and very long, 2nd and 22. Now, do you keep on that pressure or maybe step back a little bit? They look like you believe that they're going to keep on that pressure. And here they come, up the gap again. Brought down from the handoff. And now Pioneers got something that they can build on defensively. Pioneer with similar looks defensively on both of those last plays between the linebacker trying to shoot the gaps and again just faking if it's going to be in. We'll see if they keep pushing this, keep at this, or is it time to pull back into a more coverage and see what happens. And that is what happens. Sims gets it over to Panas. Nice catch, an immediate turn. Grabs 5 or 6 yards. But the coverage on that one waiting for that play. And we're going to see this oh so rare Huron River Rat punt. 4th and 17, in theory, could be some really good field position for the Pioneers. Stephen Daniels back to receive the punt. And Pioneers looks like they might be putting some pressure on this punt as well. Maybe that's the name of the game for these Pioneers in this second half is pressure. Push them, make them uncomfortable, let them know what it feels like. Or it could all be a ruse. That's football. That's the chess match right there. River Rats calling out the players. Bit of a high snap, but still gets it away nicely. Spirally punt. Bounces out at about the 41. Now after a really aggressive defensive front put on by the Pioneers, their offense is going to take the field again and try to move the ball. You know, and again, it's not like Pioneer hasn't had opportunities. It's not like they haven't gained some chunks of yards. It's just about putting some things together and consistently getting through there, whether it's consistently finding your open man, consistently breaking that run, but it's all going to start in the trenches. It always goes back to that old adage, and right now, Pioneer's just getting manhandled in there, so it's about figuring out how to get your quarterback a little more time. And in that case, it was having the running back pull up for a block, and it was nicely done. He had a couple of moments to find his man, for his wide receiver to make that run route. No go on the reception, though, so 2nd and 10 from 46. And this Pioneer crowd, getting back to them, has been really into this match. Their energy is really high. If they get the littlest thing going their way, I think they're going to erupt. And, you know, those kids on the field, they can hear that. They can feel that. And Pioneer taken down after the quick handoff once again. They'll be facing 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 now from the 42-yard line. And now we're at that spot. You can't hand off here. You've got to throw the ball. Depends on how many wideouts you're going to toss out there, 3, 4 guys. Maybe you can try a little bubble screen since the timing just hasn't been there for Nelson yet. But ideally, you need to get those 10, 11-yard routes. And he's off and running immediately. Nelson, though, with his head up, sees some opportunity. And just takes the old slide into the opposing players. That's never fun. Last thing you want to do is scoot, slip and slide right into a whole bunch of green. All that work, pick up a 4 for Grant Nelson. But the Pioneers, their punt squad, their special teams have really had some nice moves tonight. They've drawn the River Rats offside a few times. They've gained some penalties. They've went for a fake. There's no guarantee that this ball is getting kicked, but it did. After a quick hop there. Ball dies on about the 22-yard line, and that is where Huron's offense will take over. So now I'm very interested to see what the Pioneers will dial up on D. We'll see if they're going to stay aggressive, if they're going to try to keep shooting those gaps with those linebackers, or do they pull back into a more coverage nickel play? Because those blitzes seem to be doing just wonders on the River Rats. They were not ready for that. But it's also about these in-game adjustments that you make on the sideline from play to play, from series to series. There's the fake in, but quick pass out to the outside, caught, loses his man, gets to the outside, and is eventually pushed out at about the 32. And that will stop the clock at 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. There's Sims getting everybody straight. Calling everything out. I'm curious if he might not call a timeout here. He seems a little unsure. They're checking down here at the line of scrimmage. They've got the way they want it, and they get back. Steps up through the pocket, but still pulled down by the Pioneer defender. Quality tackle there by Derek Parker. And that pocket collapsed on Sims pretty fast. And the Pioneer defensive scheme continues to get the job done. 3rd and 5 now. Sims spins away, lefty. Tries to find his man right along the edges there, but no go. Skips it into him, and that's gonna bring up 4th down for the River Rats. Sims the lefty, the southpaw of the 2 quarterbacks that we've seen quite a bit of. Depending on your angle, tough to see with Sims being 12 and Panas being number 2. And here it looks like we've got a timeout. Timeout by the Pioneers. And maybe they're going to talk it over. Maybe now's the time to decide, are we going to keep this pressure? Are we going to keep pressing the River Rats even on the punt? Or do we pull back, try to go into a blocking formation, and try to buy our return man as much time and space as possible? Because Samaha's got a foot. We've seen that. This is quarter number 3, and all I've seen is that kid just make kicks. Everyone properly hydrated on both sides. Always good to know. Good to see. Pioneer breaks huddle. Kona Ice. I was not brought Kona Ice at halftime like I thought I was going to get that from our director, but maybe after the game. We'll see. Get a little treat for this guy. River Rats, those 3 mid blockers, keeping Samaha extra safe back there. And the Pioneers do end up dropping back into more of a blocking coverage. Spirally ball, received nicely. The initial Huron player misses big time, whiffs. And then that's returned up to nearly the 50-yard line. And the Pioneer defense coming up big once again. Nice blocks on that special teams play as well. And they're giving their offense every opportunity right now. This is still some of the best position that the Pioneers have gotten all night long. And now it's about taking advantage of that, taking that next step. You know, are they going to keep trying to establish this run? Are they going to keep trying to hand it up off the gut? Or are they going to drop back and try to get crazy, try to get throwing? Sling it around, as they say. Hand off to Lampier, trying to get the edge. Just tough to beat some of those athletes, tough to beat some of those players. That was brought down by Bruce Williams. Just a fast linebacker. He had him tracked the whole way, would not give up, kept chugging away, pulled him off to the side. Even if Williams doesn't get him, there's 2 or 3 other rats there waiting in the wings to pull Lampier down.
That's a 2-yard, 46 yards.
Now 2nd and 12 here coming up for the Pioneers. Samuel Bonasso in the backfield with Grant Nelson. Fake and then just gets rid of it as he sees just another rat all over him. That time, Tyrese Hurd.
Tyrese Hurd on the pressure. Third down and 12.
Tyrese Hurd with the pressure on the quarterback. Had rough pressuring earlier. The chances of my dad jokes coming up are very, very strong. Now we got 3rd and 12 for the Pioneers. Little bubble screen out. Makes his first man miss, but what the Rats are doing, they're not just leaving one man open in space. Their coverage, their zone coverage is doing just an excellent job of, even if the initial guy misses, he's slowing him down enough for those other athletes to get into position and make those tackles. There's not a lot of opportunities for just one-on-one beats. Now on 4th and 12, likely to see another Pioneer punt. With Panas deep, ready for receiving, and blocked. Hand on it. 21 snags it right at the 50, and even fell forward a few yards. Wow. And when things are going right for you, things just go right for you. Great job pressure by the River Rat defense, breaking that formation, getting in there, getting a hand on it. And even something as seemingly simple some days as getting that punt away is still just a lot of work for these Pioneers right now. Now the Rats offense will jump back in with 1:24 here to go in this quarter. Got Panas deep, excuse me. Nice little screen pass, cuts back inside, loses his men, stiff arms, and he's just pushing his way through. I mean, he made a lot of that with his feet, but also that stiff arm. Just an incredible play, great effort. Jamari Thomas. Drive after drive, we're seeing him make plays, getting those extra yards after contact, yards after catch. He's just pushing those opposing defenders down, does it with his arms, does it with his feet. Just the exact type of player that you want to have out there making plays for you. Gets all the way up to the 12-yard line. River Rats continue with these 4 wide. That's mainly what we've seen from them all night. Doubt we're going to see anything different. Panas under shotgun. Also all night long. He finds his man. Jamari Thomas, though, couldn't get that post to come back. Another one of those spots where you're throwing to the position, not so much the man. But Jamari Thomas just couldn't quite get back to where he needed to be. Paness did a really nice job of getting away and firing that one into the direction of where it needed to be, though. Now with that incomplete pass, clock stops at 34 seconds. But the River Rats, a really interesting formation here. You don't see this very often. Curious to see what's about to happen here. He got a man in motion. Probably just going to keep Paness, but instead he rolls out, passes to the man in motion. Zaire's rough, but just got it a little away from him. Yeah, you don't see that formation very often, and I'm curious if maybe somebody jumped, somebody held, or that could have been some false start. And that's what's going to happen when you do the same style of play. You've got the same formation. Your offensive linemen are doing the same thing over and over and over again. You throw that little wrinkle in there. Sometimes it has the propensity to go well and make something big happen. But also, that could be that muscle memory just goes the wrong way. Worth a try though. You're up 31-0. Nice back. Just heaves it into the corner. Just almost as a just his body language and his form on that was great. He saw some players coming back. He saw his pocket falling in on him and just whipped it out into that corner. But it looks like somebody got a River Rat in there through the tailgaters over there. I'm not really sure what's going on in that corner, but probably having a good time. Looks like Davis Huggin under there. Could be number 5 for the Rats, I think I may have saw. But he was the one going after that heave from Paness. But not sure what happened there. He might have just kept going. Went end over end through that group of maize and blue. Rats got the trainer over there holding the leg up. The way she was holding it doesn't make me think that there's any sort of knee issue or knee tweak. Looked like it might have been a muscle problem, so maybe just something popped out of where it needed to be. But another holding penalty on the Rats, and they're going the wrong way. And thus far, the Rats really had a difficult time getting things really moving here in this second half. 2nd and 27 now. Big blitz, surprise. But Paness still finds his way through and gets a solid 7 yards before this quarter is dangerously running out with only 9 seconds left here to go. That'll probably be the end of it for this quarter, before we'll switch things up and take you into quarter number 4. And we will be back with quarter number 4 shortly. Stick around, we'll be right back with CTN's Game of the Week.
But my stumpy arms are best suited for browsing a2gov.org/CTN. For real, check us out at a2gov.org/CTN.
Okay, Bob, we got it.
And welcome back, everybody, to the start of the 4th quarter here at Riverbank Stadium, CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. Thank you for joining us. As you just saw, the River Rat marching band serenading everybody with a little Sweet Caroline moving into the fourth quarter. What's a Friday night without some Neil Diamond? And now 3rd and 17 here, starting off the quarter, and Pioneer continuing with that aggressive look defensively. They've got those gap linebackers jumping in, darting in and out, pulling back ever so slightly before they fake back in. And you can see that's playing with these offensive linemen from Huron, and it's at least disrupting, for lack of a better word, if nothing else, these quarterbacks. Pinase with a hard count, but not biting. And that shows some real discipline by the Pioneers to try to keep playing this aggressive, to keep coming with these blitzes, but not bite on these counts. Toss in there, looked like it bounced before it came in, before Zires Ruff could pull that one in. Yeah, Ruff might have tweaked a little something, or maybe came down wrong on that knee. And that's not something you want to see, because he plays a heck of a defensive role as well. And I think that's something that maybe the Rats need to start thinking about is, you know, they don't want anybody to get hurt. They're up 31-0 here on this one. They can't have any major injuries moving forward. They don't want to have anybody get hurt. Even these little tweaks, you know, those add up over the course of the season, obviously. But you want every positive coming out of a victory like this. More positives for the River Rats. Adam Samaha on one more time. Up and just good. Perfect. Perfect kick from that hash mark. Samaha automatic this evening. And he pushes his team 34-0 currently. Sama perfect on field goals, 2 for 2 this evening, and perfect on extra points, 4 for 4 there. And worth talking about a little bit more, that's really something that is so helpful and so huge for a high school team. A lot of kickers are not automatic. A lot of kickers in this high school programs, you know, maybe not be as consistent as what we're used to seeing with the pros or even college. So finding that high school kicker that you can count on, that you can depend on, and maybe even lean on in a closer game is a really, really useful weapon, and it appears that the Rats have that in Samaha. And now kickoff time also, where he seems to be excelling pretty nicely. Ensuing kickoff here from Samaha. Big boot. Lampier, as per usual. Nice hands, good catch, but he ain't going anywhere. That'll be the touchback, and he'll be off to the 20. Early in the game, we were talking about Coach Mack and his discussion of moral victories, and those are the things that he's not interested in anymore with the way this program's moving. But with Coach Williams in his first season, I definitely think the moral victory here is you got to move the ball a little bit. Getting in the end zone is pretty necessary, and it's more than just a moral victory, because that sounds flip or glib. You really want something for your guys to build on, something they can get jacked about and get excited about. You know, you get in that end zone and you are pumped, you are excited. And you're happy to see it. And these are the reps that you keep moving, you know, week after week if you can make that happen. get back along the line of scrimmage. There's a little chippiness happening. Shocker, 34-0 in a crosstown rivalry. These things have the propensity to get out of hand. This is where the referees really need to get in. All joking aside, this is where they need to take some time. This is where they need to talk to players. This is where they need to talk to coaches, that these things can't go down. Injuries aren't worth it. Anything beyond that, not worth it. Play the way you're supposed to, play the game, and then get off the field. But we did have a personal foul penalty that's going to move the Pioneers up a nice chunk of yards, up to their 35-yard line. As per usual, Nelson almost zero time in that pocket, turns around, tried to find his man Steven Daniels, but no go. Even the way that Nelson got around those players and found himself a little bit of space, those players that are after him are big, man. Those are some tall kids, and he tried to sidearm over them, and he just didn't have the angle. Couldn't get over some of those big kids, couldn't get over some of those big players. Players like Carson Hawkins out there. Players like McLilly out there, you just couldn't get past them. You know, these are some speedsters. They're chasing them down, and they're just big kids on top of it. A lot of wideouts out there for Pioneer here on 2nd and 10, and that probably opened up a little bit for him, spread the field, gave him that open look so that he could just cut up the middle and get that first down. MTC, kid, move those chains. Not sure how many times they can pull that off. Keep spreading 5 guys wide and open up that middle so that maybe Nelson can read what that defense is doing and step up and cut through. But you go to it a little bit more, and maybe something that opens up on a deep route or up the middle. Quick handoff. If I had a nickel for every time I said quick handoff and brought down immediately, I would have a boatload of nickels. I'd have enough nickels for some Kona ice. I know that. I think Kona Ice will be our sponsor for Game of the Week moving forward, and looking forward to that as well. Back on the field, though, 10:21, clock moving down. Nelson, really nice job of slipping out that side and finding an open man. And I think the Pioneers are maybe starting to figure out what it's going to take to get their guy open and get some wideouts open and push these chains time after time. And these are the drive after drive adjustments that your coordinators are making, your head coaches are making. You're seeing what's not working and then changing things up in order to get the results that you need. And while the score is not where they want it for the Pioneers, making these adjustments, figuring these things out, that might be. You never know. You might see this team later in the playoffs.
Nelson brought down by 51.
Looking at a very competitive SEC Red this fall, so it's going to be an uphill battle for the Pioneers at this point, but you never know. Despite that catch and the yardage gain, still 4th and 7 for the Pioneers. Riverette Band doing their thing, keeping their crowd into it. No more Neil Diamond. Maybe later. Still got a lot of quarter left. Pioneer going for it on 4th and 7 and just inside their own 50. And we had some movement up front. I think that might have been on the offensive line. Could have been a false start. Indeed it is. Marching it back 5, and I'm curious if they're still going to go for it on 4th and 12. A little less manageable, but here we go with the punt. Pioneer punter surrounded, but still managed to get it off. Great job there. You know, people joke about kickers and punters, but I don't want to be surrounded by these dudes a foot and a half away coming after me while I'm trying to be on one leg kicking it away. It's not an easy job.
Once again, students, please be making arrangements for your ride. Stadium will be closing 15 minutes after the conclusion of the game. Please make arrangements.
And here we've got the River Rats scrimmaging from their 40. And the Pioneers doing a nice job of up front, continuing that really nice up front play, not letting an expected handoff go for anything big. Quality job wrapping them up, letting your teammates join you, and then everybody brings him down. Second and 9 here. Curious if they'll stick with the run game, just keep that clock moving. Might even have Dyson Sims there, the southpaw, do some pre-drawn up runs or a little screen pass like that. Tackled from behind by Derek Parker. We've seen a few tackles from behind from Parker. Like what you see from that kid, just always hustling, always moving, not giving up on a play, and you know, able to make those plays as well. It's not easy to come from behind and wrap your arms around somebody and bring them down the way that he's been doing. It's commendable by that young man. I've got another downed Pioneer player, Parker, who we were just talking about. So despite wrapping him up and pulling him down, may have come down wrong, may have come down on that other player's leg. Never a good feeling. As the staff talks to him, got Coach Williams in there. Parker gets up of his own accord, kind of holding the, I don't know if he's holding his wrist or maybe protecting his bathing suit area. Might know where that pull may have happened. Rats back at it now. 3rd and 5, got to get to their own 50-yard line, or just past the 50-yard line. And indeed they do, but from a mile away, a flag gets chucked into the middle of the field. So the referee from deep up the middle tossed that in. Almost like he was trying to get it into that Huron circle. So him looking down the pipe, I'm curious what he saw, if it may have been a hold. River Rats trying to figure it out. Haven't talked a whole heck of a lot about that River Rat logo going on those helmets right there either. It's a little bit of a departure from what they've done. They've got that H and seemingly a claw going on there. I like a little just tearing through the H, very vicious. I don't want to see a river rat that's got claws like that. I don't want that guy in my backyard.
Third down and 9.
A little bit of a departure from that usual logo that you can see at the midfield spot right now. But that's what you do these days. You get some different uniforms, you switch things up. Kids love that. Kids also love recovering your fumble, which is a great play. That ball, that screen pass bounced off of him, but did a great job of staying with it despite that, covering up and preventing any major damage being done by that miscue. Now 4th and 9 for the Rats. And getting back to the uniforms, just because we like talking about that. The Rats have had some pretty fun unis over my times here covering them, and they're not afraid to switch things up. Again, what they're going with right now is a little more muted, a little more subtle, but I think it works. Green with the black helmets looks good too. Waiting on the forthcoming punt from Samaha. River Rats continue to keep those 3 players mid-range back. Quality long snap too. Not enough made about the long snapper for the Rats today. Takes the bounce, keeps going. The Pioneer offense will have their work cut out for them, starting at about their own 12-yard line.
Down to the 12-yard line. Brings up a first down and 10 Pioneers.
Here we've just got that glorious goal line shot there. Once again, as usual, just wonderful, wonderful work by everybody in on this production. Camera operators, directors, audio, graphics, everybody just working their best, doing their best to bring all these great images and this great broadcast to life from start to finish. It's always an honor to be out here and be a part of it. Here, a little bit of time, chucks it deep.
That pass ball was incomplete.
Cullen Wellman going long. He might have just drawn it up like a little backyard play. Hey, go long, get out there. Wellman chasing it, couldn't quite get to where that ball went. Nelson put some air under that one. For a change, he had that second and a half where he could take a step back and really step into that throw where he can launch one. We haven't seen him with that opportunity to really air anything out. We haven't seen what kind of arm he has. We haven't seen what kind of arm he's capable of tossing because he hasn't had any time. Bonasso back there. Nice job slipping through all those tacklers, but no one to look at. No wide receivers down the field on this end of the field. He had one player near the Huron sideline, but making that throw, making that play of running in the opposite direction, probably not going to happen too often.
Brings up a 3rd and 2. Students, have anyone lost a pop?
Now a very reasonable 3rd and 2 for the Pioneers. That incomplete pass stops the clock, however, at 7 minutes and 1 second. We'll see what Coach Williams and Nelson can dial up on this one, if they're going to hand the ball off or going to try to keep it in the air. Little misdirection there. Falling forward, he's going to be just a little short, I think. Nope, got it. Moving the chains for the Pioneers.
Thomas enough for a Pioneer first down.
Pioneers back to scrimmage. Gotta think they're gonna keep throwing the ball. Got 4 wide. There it is, a long one up the middle. He's got his man open and he makes the catch at the 50-yard line. 2 men to beat. Lowers his shoulder, bumps him, but knocks him out of bounds. That Rat defender lowered his shoulder, knocked him good, but did not knock him down. Just a great presence by Stephen Daniels to make that catch, stay up, take the hit, and keep chugging along. And a real big play for the Pioneers. Now as we get down into the river at 25, that long pass becomes less of a thing. We'll see what they can dial up here. Nice rip move, the old swipe move there by Zaire's Ruff, the traditional Madden rip move. And that's what you're gonna tell your linebackers, your defensive backs, those type of players. They can come around behind. Tackle's great, but if you can smack that ball away to an unsuspecting player from behind, good things can happen.
Students, please begin calling for your rides. Please arrange for your rides. Stadium will be closing. Conclusion of the game. Lights will be turned on.
9-yard loss on that play. Pioneer pushed back to the 34-yard line. Has his man up the middle, great catch! Goes up, pulls it down. Stephen Daniels keeping this drive alive, moving those chains again. Nope, not moving them. 3rd and 6.
Down and 6. Ball's on the 21-yard line.
Juking and jiving, staying above. Nelson's been fighting for his life all game long, and he's not ready to give up the ghost. He's, every single time out there, he does not want to get ripped down by those players. Just love to see this fight, love to see this effort keep going. You know, what happens when you get knocked down? You get up. That's what you do. Good for him. Way to stay after it. And even snagged a few yards on that. Brought them into 4th and 2 now. Three wide for the Pioneers here. Split backs to his left and right as well. Oh, and he just tossed that one away from Jamel Thomas. And turnover on downs for the Pioneers, despite some big plays to get them just outside of the red zone. So the River Rats take over with 3:43 left to go here in this game. Very interested to see if they keep airing it out or how their run game will play out to try to run this clock out, take away this victory, this home victory on a Friday night, and put them up to 2-1 on the season. We've got yet another quarterback out there for the River Rats. They've just got a ton of them, apparently. Jackson Kiefer. Sophomore Jackson Kiefer. Or, excuse me, that's my mistake. That is Arvind Krishnan. Arvind Krishnan Jr. Krishnan not used to seeing this level of pressure probably from the practice squad, because those Pioneers are not going easy on him.
3rd down 10.
Christian looking in. Looks like he's got a little more weight on him than our previous Rat quarterbacks, previous Pinase and Sims. So you might see him stand up in the pocket and try to throw one a little bit deeper. Or he can just hand the ball right up the gut.
Ball went on the carry. Like no game, brings up a 4th down and 10.
That run will get it back to the line of scrimmage, but 4th and 10 coming up here for the Rats. And little opportunity there for Krishnan to get in, get some reps. You never know when he might be needed in the future. So you want to get him that game action. You want him to see what that real defense looks like. And he saw a real defense from those Pioneers. That defensive line not messing around in this second half. And those linebackers not messing around in that second half. And once again, it looks like they're going to put some serious pressure on the River Rats and on Samaha as he's standing just outside of the end zone. Meanwhile, Jamel Thomas, way back, way past the 50s, standing roughly, now he's moving in towards a little bit towards the 40. And that's because there's a timeout call.
Once again, Pioneer students and fans, please exit the north
And we're starting to file out early.
part of the stadium.
Just like my dad taking me to the Tiger game. 7th inning time. Time to go, guys. Time to go. Got to beat traffic. Got to beat the crowd.
Stadium lights will be
I
off
understand. It happens.
15 minutes prior to the end of the game.
But it's Friday night. Those kids have got places to go, man.
Correction, 15 minutes after.
All right, back on the field here. Punter Samaha just outside of his own end zone. High spinner there. Still managed to bounce and skip up to the 50-yard line before it scoots out.
Kick goes to the 48-yard line, brings up a 1st and 10 Pioneer.
And the Pioneers will start on the right side, the correct side of the 50-yard line for them, but still a long ways to go. But one more opportunity for them. And Grant Nelson just continues to be punished back there. Ripped down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 3 or 4 on that play. And I think what we talked about Coach Mack's feelings after that first victory against Southeastern, don't give up, don't stop, don't dog it. Those lessons have been learned and are being applied here tonight at Riverbank Stadium because his guys, his defense, are still going strong. Those defensive linemen aren't letting up, and Nelson is running for his life almost play after play. And that one just
The pass ball is incomplete.
barely off the fingertips of that slant receiver coming up the middle. Nelson with a nice job of getting that one away. He's become pretty adept at letting loose that ball as quickly as he can when he has even the slightest opportunity to make it happen. And here, 3rd and 16. 4 wide, Nelson pulls off to his left, looking for those trips And he finds his man, makes the catch, turns it upfield before he's knocked out at about the 29-yard line. And positive things happening for the Pioneers. First down for the Pioneers. He gets out of bounds, stops the clock, moves the chains. Still 1:16 left to play. Plenty of time for the Pioneers to make a few more plays here and finish strong, get in the end zone at least one time so they can say that they've done it and have something to build on here. Handoff inside up the middle. The old unexpected play. Gets 3 or 4. But I'll tell you what's not expected, not unexpected, is great stuff from the CTN Game of the Week crew. People like Rob Cross, our director, Paul Wright doing audio this evening, Katsumi Nagai and Mike Koski on camera, Carl McCoy doing graphics, every single one of them working so hard to make this broadcast as great as it is week after week. Again, so happy to be a part of it. Love being a part of this one. And hopefully everybody out there has enjoyed this Game of the Week broadcast as things clock tiptoes down 25 seconds here. Still running. We'll see the Pioneers probably try one more play, but I would like to say thank you for joining us. We always appreciate it. Check out Game of the Week. We're back. We're all really excited to be a part of it, and we've got some great matchups for you this season. Here's one last handoff, the unexpected handoff. He's brought down at the 22-yard line, and that will do it for this matchup between the River Rats and the Pioneers. All River Rats, and just so many good things for the Rats, and they've got a lot to build on moving forward for the season. Thank you once again, everybody, for joining us from Riverbank Stadium. I'm Nick Wisniewski, Huron 34, Pioneer 0. We'll catch you on the next CTN Game of the Week.